Can you believe it's taken me 84, I think it's 84 episodes to get to Judas Priest? I should even say the mighty Judas Priest. And there is good reason for that. The reason I haven't talked about Judas Priest up to this point is I was never a Judas Priest fan. Really, I know that's maybe some people would say blasphemous. For me, a raging metalhead. I was a teenage metalhead in the 80s, maybe even a little bit into the 70s. And so for a lot of people, Judas Priest was the band. Maybe for other people, Iron Maiden. I think there was always a parallel between Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. A lot of people like them both, especially from 82 through 85. I don't know, 80 through 86. I don't know. I was always much more of an Iron Maiden guy. Not that you have to choose one or the other. There's no reason why you can't like them both equally. But Judas Priest, and I'm going to talk about Defenders of the Faith. They just never caught on with me. I never hated them, and I didn't dislike them. I liked a lot of their, if you call them hits, a lot of their well-known or songs that Breaking the Law and things like that. I knew those, but I never bought a Judas Priest album, as a matter of fact, until they had that compilation called Metalworks that came out in the mid or late 90s. That was the first Judas Priest album I ever bought. This one, Defenders of the Faith, which I'm going to talk about today, if I get to it, the record, I never had the record. I had it on CD. I don't think I bought that until after I bought Metalworks. So it was probably late 90s, maybe even into 2000, when I originally got Defenders of the Faith on CD. And it's really, I think that and Screaming for Vengeance are the only Judas Priest records that I've listened to from beginning to end. I don't think I've ever heard British Steel from front to back, or Sin After Sin, Stained Class, Rockarola. What else do they have? Sad Wings of Destiny. I guess I know the basics, but I've never heard them all. Now I want to change that. So I've gone through and I bought some Judas Priest records. I guess there'll be some upcoming that I'll talk about, and kind of like with the Scorpions, although I like Scorpions much better than Judas Priest, I feel like I kind of missed something. So I want to remedy that situation, and I want to get into Judas Priest, the mighty Judas Priest. I'm going to try by buying some of these albums. Maybe you can guess which ones I bought, which ones I'm going to talk about in the future. But today I'm going to start with Defenders of the Faith, and it was kind of Rob Halford's voice, which I know is also blasphemous. He's the metal god. And he's maybe considered by a lot of people, to be the best metal singer ever. Probably Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, maybe Dio and Jeff Tate. Those would be like the top four, if you want to call it the Mount Rushmore of metal singers, or the big four of metal singers. I would say those four. But Rob Halford, I like his kind of growling voice, but his high pitched voice. I hated Painkiller. When I heard the song Painkiller, I thought that sucked. I don't like that high. Same with King Diamond. I don't like that high, screeching voice that these guys sing things with. And also Judas Priest, I think, was a little bit retroactively, especially kind of cheesy. They were still into the metal. And I'll talk about this with this album. And again, I'm drawing a line with Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, they were heavy metal, but they didn't sing about the heavy metal lifestyle like Judas Priest did. And maybe that's why some people like Judas Priest, but that kind of turned me off a little bit. So now my Judas Priest concert history, I did see them live in 2004 in Toronto at the Molson Amphitheater with Slayer. I went to that largely because of Slayer. I'm a massive Slayer fan. And if you've noticed, I also haven't talked about Slayer. Stay tuned. That's all I'll say. Stay tuned. So Slayer was opening. I thought, it's about time for me to see Judas Priest. And so I saw Slayer and Judas Priest in 2004 at my first and only time that I saw Judas Priest. Now, they did play in Toronto in 1984. I don't remember the exact date, but it was April 1984. That was a great month. That was when I saw my first concert, which was Ozzy with Rat at Maple Leaf Gardens on April 25th, 1984. Van Halen, now I didn't go to this concert, but for some reason I know the date was April 17th, also at Maple Leaf Gardens, and Judas Priest played, maybe it was April 9th or 10th or 12th, something like that, but in like a 2-week period, Judas Priest on the Defenders of the Faith tour, Van Halen 1984 tour, and Ozzy Bark Moon tour all played at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. I went to Aussie. And Judas, it was Great White, I think, they opened for Judas Priest. And I had some friends who went to that. So that's my my brief Judas Priest history. Now, talking about the album in general, and I've got it here. I'm gonna open it up soon. I hope soon. It is probably now. It's kind of maybe incomplete for me to say it's my favorite Judas Priest album because there's so many of them that I haven't heard in full. I've heard the songs. I know. Can I match the songs with the albums? I know "Victim of Changes" and "The Ripper" are on "Sad Wings of Destiny," I think. Breaking the Law is on British Steel. I kind of know, but this is really the only album that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with some songs, and this is a real heavy metal album. This is like the epitome of heavy metal. This is their look, their sound. I think it's maybe that started with "Scream for Vengeance," where to me they came out real heavy metal band. Yeah. So that's it. So I will open this up now. Now this one has it's got the tab and it's also got some tape on it. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to rip the tape open. All right, and I don't need to do that. All right. So this will be my first time seeing this on vinyl. All right, there it is. I love this album cover. I don't know if it's my I've never thought about this. What's the best Judas Priest album cover? I think this is pretty close. I would think this is by the same artist as the guy who did "Screaming for Vengeance." It's got kind of that same style to it. I don't know, but I love this album cover. It's great. This is I don't know what this being is called, but there it is. Yeah, excellent album cover. Very cool. Now here's maybe he's called the Metallion because here it says the Metallion. So let's call this the Metallion. So it says and this is why Judas Priest I think is seen as a little bit cheesy. Rising from darkness where hell hath no mercy, and the screams of vengeance echo on forever. Only those who keep the faith shall escape the wrath of the Metallion, master of all metal. That sounds like Manowar level crap. And I'm not sure, I don't think that's a lyric. And I'm pretty familiar with this album. I don't, lyrically, I don't think that's a lyric. But anyway, I will open this up and see what's inside. Now, another thing about Judas Priest and with this album, because I never had it until 15 or 20 years after it came out, I never really learned the lyrics too much to this. Some of them I know the lyrics stone cold, but some other ones I know the songs musically well. But Rob Halford also, I guess, just the way he sang, I always had a hard time deciphering Rob Halford lyrics, especially on. I'll talk about one song in particular when I get this open. All right, let me see what this is like. I would imagine it has a cool inner. All right. Now this is split here. I don't know if that was from my knife that I just opened, but whatever. So there it is again. Oh, I like this. All right, this is a good split. So it's got the lyrics on one side and the Metallion on the other side. There it is. All right, there it is. So getting through this track by track now, Free Will Burning. I love this song. I have no idea what the lyrics are. I haven't got a clue, especially that fast part. I know it's Fast and Furious, we ride the universe, and then I'm lost. I know the Fast and Furious, we ride the universe. We accelerate, no time to hesitate. This road will detonate. Born to lead at breakneck speed. Oh, I have a delivery. Oh, just a minute. An Amazon delivery, a live. I wonder why my dog was barking. Let's see what's happening here. Here's Amazon. Buenas tardes, ¿qué tal? Sí, Amazon. Here we go. I think this is it's at least the second, maybe the third time that I've got a live Amazon delivery while I was doing a video. You know what this record is? I'm not going to tell you, but it's one that I'm very excited to talk about. It's a band that I haven't talked about in this series before. So this is going to be the first one. I want to do this like tomorrow or next one. I'm very excited to listen to this and to talk about it. So that will be later. But getting back to Judas Priest. So Free Will Burning, yeah, Fast and Furious, We Ride the Universe. Fast and Furious, We Ride the Universe. And then whatever, and then we Crush. I don't know. And then the chorus is yeah, born to lead at breakneck speed with high octane. We're spitting flames, free will burning. Horrible singing, but that's heavy metal. That's a great song. Borderline, I would even say thrash metal, speed metal. It's a good one. And I remember the video. God, this video was on all the time back at that point on Toronto Rocks and whatever video channels that showed metal videos. And they were dressed in leather and studs. And I think Halford in that video had that vest that was all the square metal plates or whatever they were called. That was a real heavy metal video and real heavy metal song. And the kid in the video I think he was playing Missile Command, no? That old video game from like 1981 or 82 or something. And then the fast part of this song, I have no idea what he's saying. Everybody knows the look before you leap. I know that's the first words. Super, super fast. Look before you leap. I have no idea what he's saying. I've heard this song 10,000 times, and I have no idea. I can maybe pick out one or two words here and there, but I love Free Will Burning. That's a great song. Next is Jawbreaker. That's also a great song, a real heavy metal song. That riff in the beginning, that fast. Again, for Judas Priest, this is a real step up from breaking the law and living after midnight. This was, those are kind of anthemic songs. These were real heavy metal songs. That fast riff, that reminds me of Princess of the Night by Saxon. That's what I think, anyway. Yeah, Jawbreaker is excellent. Rock hard, ride free all day, all night. Good song too, anthemic. I like the all night long. The choruses, the verses are get a grip on the action. Da, da, da. A little bit, I don't know, maybe pedestrian, but overall, rock hard, ride free. Again, it's got that the kind of cheesy side of Judas Priest that Iron Maiden never really had. Rock hard, ride free. The metal lifestyle, whatever. But I like it. I like that song. The Sentinel is next. That's, again, a real heavy metal song. And some of these songs I knew before I actually bought this record on CD in whatever year that I said earlier, around the turn of the century, the turn of the millennium. I did have some of these songs on tape because I used to love to listen to radio and tape stuff and listen to these late night metal shows. And I knew Free Will Burning and Rock Hard, Ride Free I had, and some Heads Are Gonna Roll. Love Bites, but some of these songs were newer to me, and the Sentinel was one. So when I first really heard the Sentinel, and I had a good friend, Jeff Simpsons, who is a huge Judas Priest fan, so I did listen to this with him, but I'm getting off topic, as I have a tendency to do. So the Sentinel, good song too. That one's, wasn't into it that much, but I do like it. Oh, now Love Bites. This is maybe, what side are we on now? Whoops, let me get rid of that tape. Love Bites, is that the opening song of side 2? Yeah, it is. That's a fantastic song. Love Bites, in the dead of night, when you feel safe, when you feel warm. That's when I rise, that's when I crawl, gliding on mist, hardly a sound, bringing the kiss, evils abound. And I loved Rob Halford's when he sang like that, like his, like his kind of growly voice. He was great. But when, his high-pitched one, that was what I didn't like as much. Love Bites is fantastic. That video was on all the time too, and used to love it. That was, yeah, maybe that's my favorite. No, maybe the next one, Eat Me Alive. Those two are my favorites, Love and Bites and Eat Me Alive. Eat Me Alive is another real fast, up-tempo, borderline speed metal song. Wrapped tight around me like a second flesh hot skin. Is that what it is? Oh, I thought it was like a second set of skin. Anyway, like a second flesh hot skin. Cling to my body as the ecstasy begins. Your wild vibrations got me shooting from the hip. Crazed and insatiable, let rip and eat me alive. Sounds like an animal panting from the heat. Groaning the pleasure zone, gasping from the heat. Is that what it is? Got raunchy friends. Gut-wrenching frenzy that deranges every joint. I'm going to force you at gunpoint to eat me alive. Very controversial at the time. If anybody remembers the Hollywood, they were not the Hollywood Wives, the Washington Wives, the PMRC. They didn't like this song. There was this and Burn in Hell, I think, Twisted Sister, Animal, Wasp. They didn't like some of those songs, and they really didn't like Judas Priest, Eat Me Alive. And Rob Halford, I think, went to the Senate or Congress, whatever it was, and nothing came of it, as tends to happen. Some heads are going to roll is next. This is one, you can look to the left and look to the right, but you will live in danger tonight. This is not quite a favorite, but I like this one along. A little bit slower, a little bit kind of probably a real crowd favorite when they played it live. But yeah, some heads are going to roll. I like. Night Comes Down. The song sucks, I would say. This is the one song in this album that I really just don't like at all. It's not fast and furious like Free Will Burning or Eat Me Alive. It's not, really heavy metal like The Sentinel. It's not catchy or anthemic like Rock Hard, Ride Free, or even Some Heads Are Gonna Roll. It's kind of slow, not really heavy, nothing interesting or nothing catchy about it. This for me, this song is a throwaway, but I would not call it filler. I talked about this many times. Filler doesn't mean just a song that you don't like. So I wouldn't call this filler, but the song kind of sucks. And then the last, let's put them together as one song, Heavy Duty, Defenders of the Faith. Now, they are listed as separate songs, and I think on the CD, for sure on the CD they were separate tracks, but realistically it was one song. And this is the kind of thing that now, these years later, it bothers me that much. Just make it one song. Just call it Heavy Duty or Defenders of the Faith. Your choice, Judas Priest. But it's kind of pointless to have it split into two, because there is kind of not a break in it. There is a clear definition between the two. But this is another one that I had recorded on the radio decades ago. Loved it. This is fantastic. Heavy Duty is, it has that shitty sounding drums to open it. And Judas Priest never had good drums. At least got something stuck here. Excuse me. Yeah, these drums, the beginning of the I'm not even sure if that's real drums. I know Judas Priest used a drum machine on, I think, Ram It Down and maybe Turbo. They didn't use live drums. I know you like it hot, love to writhe and sweat. You think that this feels good. You ain't felt nothing yet. I like how Halford sings like this. Red hot licks in the palm of my hand. Feel your body quake as we hit the promised land. We're heavy duty. I like how he sings like this. Now this, as much as I love the song, again, it's kind of like a rallying cry for heavy metal, and it's a real put your fist in the air song. Let's all join forces, rule with an iron hand, and prove to all the world metal rules the land. And then it switches into we are defenders of the faith. It's a good transition in a song, but I think works better as one single song than two. And that's all it is. We are defenders of the faith. We are defenders of the faith. We are defenders of the faith. Good ending. So that's it for Defenders of the Faith. My favorite Judas Priest. Oh, I can remove this wrap. I don't like that. There we go. In my view, the best Judas Priest album. Although I have to, listen to some other ones, and maybe I'll share. No, I will share them with you probably at some point. But yeah, the best, and I think this is very highly regarded, isn't it? And I don't really know. I know what Kiss fans think of, Unmasked and what they think of Destroyer. I don't really know what Judas Priest fans, how their albums are regarded, but I think, and I would guess, I know Screaming for Vengeance is highly regarded. I'm not sure if this is considered by Judas Priest fans largely to be their best album, but for me it is. And we are defenders of the faith.